Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today's going to be a little bit different episode. Something I just wanted to kind of talk about the market. Team member Andrew B2B put together a market update. I'll go through some of that, but also just some of my general feelings. So if you're able to log on, hit me in the chats where you're logging in from. And as we go, if you have questions, please let me know. So just looking forward to this. And I'm really passionate about transportation and the market and just overall business success. And there's a lot of sentiment out there in the market right now that the freight recession is done, and the information out there is backing that up. But I always am a little bit of a contrarian when the whole market and everybody's saying one thing is like there's still a lot to be filtered through. And what I mean by that is there's been a lot of companies that have been struggling for the last few years. There's going to be a lot of cash issues. You're seeing it just this week. I saw on Freight Waves and on Think Freight, they're talking about a company out of Missouri that went bankrupt. I think it was about 255 power units. Some things I saw last week with Cal Freight out of California, a lot of fraud, some RICO lawsuits out there as well. So there's just a lot of information out there there's a lot of pain still to be felt. And they're starting to see some consolidation. Obviously, DAT bought out Trucker Tools. I think we're just going to continue to see more and more of that consolidation. Just speaking from B2B transportation, we get hit up all the time. It's almost daily. Hey, do you want to sell? Do you want to sell? And everybody has the next biggest, brightest plan, and that's all great. But we're happy doing what we're doing, and we're really excited about where B2B is headed in 2025 because of the work we've done in 24 to prep for that. One thing I want to throw out there too, I put a few posts out there about, can you trust your freight agency? If you're a freight agent and you don't fully understand your compensation plan or how the fees are taken out, that's a problem. Simple, we've all heard the KISS method, keep it simple. And I think that's so important because if you're not able to explain it or understand it within less than a minute, that's a problem. And we've seen some of that in the marketplace where people are being taken advantage of or fees aren't clearly understood. So make sure that you truly know what your compensation plan is as a freight agent. For us, it's very simple. You're between 65 and 70%, depending on how much you're doing. And that scale changes weekly. And we do that because we want people to know how they're being paid and how they're being compensated so that it's easy. And we build trust through that process too. So, all right. So the whole reason for this, I'm going to kind of go through just the update that Andrew shared. And so hopefully I believe everybody can see that. I'm just going to make sure here. Yep, looks like it. So starting from the beginning, just if you want a copy of this, hit me in the comments and we'll be able to share it. No problem. Just trends, what to expect, what we're seeing out there. Just diesel pricing is price of fuel has gone down. Why should freight brokers care about that? Well, you should, because your trucking companies and your carriers really care about it, because it's typically either the number one or number two expense, depending on where that is, and payroll being the other one that it flip-flops with. My years in transportation as an asset-based company, this is one of the things I looked at every single day. So it's critical to understand. Month over month, it's gone down a little bit. Year over year, it's gone down as well. So that's good. Obviously, depending on where you're at in the U.S., plays a major role in fuel cost. U.S. average is 353, but if you come out to the West Coast, it's 417, which is crazy. California's 466. So, if you're seeing why are rates higher in California, there's your answer right there. But you can see overall trend line, it has trended down for the year. So that's all positive. One of the things that industry experts are signaling is possibly we're beginning at the end of the freight recession. And I mentioned that in the beginning. I do agree with that. but again, I just a word of caution because people get so excited and oh, the rates are going to go up, the rates are going to go up, and maybe we're going to see some trend lines go up, but it's not going to be COVID era style rates. That was once in a lifetime. It was fueled by unnatural causes with government manipulation of pumping money into the economy, and we were all home and had nothing better to do than to fix our houses. So, but as far as rate increases, analysts are saying 6.5 to 7%. So it's a pretty significant increase. Obviously, that's reflecting tightening capacity, increased demand. Just some trends or charts from Sonar. Not going to get too in the weeds on this stuff. Here's some stuff from DAT. Spot load posts are up 116%, week over week. Spot truck post are up 25%. And then you can see van load to truck up 67%. So just a lot of things that are trending in the right direction for us as freight agents, freight brokers, trucking companies. And let's see, what's Joey got to say? Oh, Joey's saying, great job, Andrew. I agree. It's pretty awesome. So dry van market as of 24 is showing tentative signs of stabilization following challenging period marked by low rates and rising costs. One thing I'll add a little bit of color just from my experience on dry van market. It's the easiest one to get into as a carrier. So if you think about it as a driver, you pull up, you load it up. Obviously, you got to secure it, but it's the easiest to secure versus a refrigerated or flatbed. And so a lot of times it's more volatile, and there's just more carriers, there's more capacity, and it's kind of crazy. So according to DAT, costs have decreased to $1.77 a mile, as I mentioned, largely due to lower fuel prices. And spot rates have increased to 202 per mile. So that's good. Those are all positive signs. Hopefully we continue to see that. Dry van summary, here you can see the black line is contract rate. The blue line is spot rate. This tells me that the market's still, in a place where there's excess capacity, because if you go back to times when it's good, is the spot rates the spot rates will actually peak over because of tightness. And we haven't seen that since, COVID style. So, so once this starts to get more in equilibrium, then we'll be in a market where it looks a little bit better from a freight broker standpoint. Reefer market, 2024 truck to load ratio is about 6-3. So that's not too bad. Just some tight spots. I'm not going to get too far in the weeds on this, just kind of more high level stuff. But, and it really, reefer freight market, mirrors indicators of tightening market capacity as smaller carriers exit. Regulatory pressures increase operational costs. Obviously, rising demand driven by inventory replenishment, consumer spending is expected to push spot rates upward, particularly in the second half of the year. I would echo those sentiments. Flatbed market as of December 24 is exhibiting signs of gradual improvement, with demand increasing slowly throughout the year. In the Southeast region, particularly Georgia, outbound spot rates have risen by 7% year over year, averaging $232 a mile, indicating tighter capacity and the heightened demand. But overall it's, so here we got national load to truck ratio right there. Flatbed, same thing here, but you do see contract rates starting to spike up a little bit. So that's good. That's a good sign that we're going to have an improvement as we go into 2025 for the flatbed market. Pretty awesome. Intermodal, I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on this because I'm not. But it did hit record highs. This is, here's the source, American Association, or the Association of American Railroads. So intermodal demand hits record highs driven by strong consumer demand and robust port activity. November saw record-breaking rail container volumes, including 3 of the 5 top weeks in the U.S. history. Job market strength fuels confidence. Strong job gains in November boosted consumer confidence, supporting continued growth in spending and demand for goods. Factory activity remains sluggish, and mixed trends in the carload. Big three coal carloads are experiencing a sharp decline, extending a multi-year decline trend. Meanwhile, chemical carloads reached record highs, and grain volumes have rebounded following challenging 2023. So I won't get too far into this. Brought to you by B2B. Obviously, this is just some different areas that we have garnered information, and just wanted to kind of pop on, share some thoughts there. Again, here's my outlook for 2025. We're budgeting modest growth. The biggest thing is you have to differentiate yourself as, service. Service is going to be key in any market, especially when supply and demand is changing. And if you're a freight agent or freight broker, I think our time is going to be much easier next year as we get into a market where it does tighten, and that'll give us an opportunity to shine and really go after it. So if you're a freight agent, freight broker, patience is going to be key. These customers have been hit time and time again. So just be patient, diligent, follow up, make sure that you have your ICP. I shared a video about that, your ideal customer profile, so that you know that you're going after the right person. And probably hop on and do this once a month as Andrew sends those out. So if you haven't already, do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're sharing a lot of great content over there, and just appreciate everybody that follows along. Hit me up in the comments if you want a copy of this.